So for this video, we're going to do another topic from Chapter 5. It is percent by volume, which is, you could apply the same reasonings to percent by mass as long as you make sure that your units are accurate. This is for our CHEM101 videos or anyone who's, just curious. So let's do number 59 from the homework. So the question is, what is the percent by volume of a 10 milliliter ethanol if we have 10 milliliters of ethanol in a 420 milliliter ethanol water solution? So if you remember, the equation's going to be the volume of your solute over, or the volume of your solute, or volume of your, we'll call it your desired, right? Volume of, we'll call it the volume of the chemical over the volume of whatever chemical or compound you're talking about over the total volume. And then you're going to multiply it by 100. So whatever chemical you're talking about. So we could do the percent by volume of the ethanol or the percent by volume of the water, but in this case they just want the ethanol. So the ethanol itself has 10 milliliters. The ethanol itself is 10 milliliters. Now the ethanol, the total volume, so when I put total volume, I have to make sure that it's the volume of both the ethanol and the water, and it is. It's 428. I'm going to divide those and then multiply by 100. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you guys a chance to give it a whirl on your own. But 10 divided by 428, that's a tiny number. And then I'm going to multiply by 100, and I get 2.34%. And the answer would be 2.34% by volume ethanol. Right? So let's do a problem that's just a little bit more difficult, but it's actually just applies the same knowledge. Percent by volume of ethanol, so we're looking for ethanol again. This will be in our numerator. In a 355 milliliter ethanol water solution, so this looks like it's going to be our total volume, and it has 18 milliliters of water. Oh, they didn't give me the volume of ethanol, they gave me the volume of water. So our first step, so ideally we're going to have volume of ethanol, and we're going to divide it by total volume, and then multiply by 100. Now, do I know total volume? Sure. 355 milliliters. Do I know the volume of ethanol? Ooh, not exactly. But if 355 milliliters equals the volume of ethanol plus the volume of water, correct? Because this is all that's making up that 355 milliliters is ethanol and water. I just have to subtract the 18 from the 355. So it's 355 minus 18. So 355 minus 18, that gives me 337 milliliters of ethanol. So 337 milliliters, and then it's times 100. So 337 divided by 355, and then times 100, I get 94.9%. Now some of you may be watching this and thinking, well, couldn't I calculate the percent volume of water first by doing 18 divided by 355, and you'll find that it's about 5.1%. So if that means water makes up 5.1% of the mixture, that means that ethanol must make up the remaining. So there's a couple different ways to do this, right? I just chose the way where we found the volume of ethanol divided by the total volume and then multiplied by 100. So that is, I think, a direct way, but you could also find the percent by volume of water and then just subtract from 100. So either way that you can get this to work for you. That is a rundown of percent by volume. Now, if you were to do percent by mass, it would be very much the same thing. The mass of whatever chemical you're talking about divided by the total mass times 100. So it's very much the same thing. You just have to make sure that the units are the same. In my examples, I had milliliter and milliliter. In a mass example, you want to make sure you have grams and grams, kilograms and kilograms, as long as they cancel out. Okay? So I hope this helped, guys.